Boys and girls, this is the Undisputed Era. Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, and you're listening to Going In Raw, baby.
Hey guys, this is Charlotte, and you're watching Going In Raw. Going In Raw. That sounds terrible.
What's up, it's your girl, Sasha Banks, Legit Boston, and you are watching Going In Raw. You like that?
Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to. You know what, Larson, when I say this is the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to, I firmly believe that.
Really?
All the podcasts out there, this is the only one you really need to listen to as a fan of professional wrestling.
Oh, I thought you meant of any podcast.
Well, depending on where your priorities lie in the world of hobbies, like pro wrestling, this would be...
What if you like to be informed?
About what?
News?
Just stuff? Well, then maybe
Current
we're not
events?
The only one you need to be listening to.
Actually, if you want to be a well-rounded individual, you should listen to a lot of different podcasts.
Does like NPR have a podcast?
Sure they do.
They have like a bunch. That's all they do these days.
Yeah.
But if you just want to be informed in the world of pro wrestling, I say this is the one right here, man. I'm not just saying it. I mean it. I firmly believe it. Where are you at on that?
All right. I mean, it's a good line.
What are you even doing? You're looking at Bruce Pritchard's podcast, man.
Oh,
my God. Oh, my God.
Happening? That's a really good show. The Daily from the New York Times, that's great. Informational, little bite-sized news bites.
The failing New York Times, Larson.
They're getting the podcast game, man. That's where the money's at.
Yeah, it is. We're also
Print
available.
media's on the way out. Podcasts on the rise.
Speaking of audio podcasts, you can also find us there. Not YouTube. Well, you can, yes, YouTube and podcasts. Leave us a rating, review, or comment right there.
These damn cables in the desk
for. Leave my cable alone. And then, leave us a rating, review, comment. Then we're on the Patreon, which is where you give us money and we give you stuff in return for that. I read there was a Patreon tip the other day on the Patreon app website thing that said you should be refreshing your tiers twice a year.
I guess we better get on that.
We haven't refreshed it once in like 3.
We put pictures on it.
We should probably do that.
At first, there was no pictures associated, but now there's pictures.
We should probably do that.
Change the names on one.
While you're out. So you are not here today. Today's Friday. You are not here.
But today is actually Thursday, so I'm here now.
We're filming this Thursday.
I will not be here.
But while you are in LA, number one, please don't get into a car crash or die. No, you're going to be in a plane.
Yeah, but I will drive.
Please don't crash plane, and please don't die.
Control.
Come back safely.
Tell you what,
best. When you get to LA. When you get to wherever it is you're going, your family's house, whatever, text me and let me know you're there and made it safe.
Sure did.
Okay, thanks. I worry about you sometimes. You're just a baby boy out in the world, and it makes me scared.
God. So
that's number one. Number two, we're not going to be doing any gaming stream today. I might on my personal one, but who cares about that? It's twitch.tv/MFSteve here, but you don't care about that. It is the first of the month, of course. Cash your checks and come up.
Thank you.
That's what I got to say about that.
Yeah.
It's the first of the month.
Get up, get up.
Cash your checks and come up.
Wake up, wake up, wake up.
We're going to talk about professional wrestling.
Correct. Let's just get on with it, man.
All
right.
Roman
Roman Reigns, he came back on Raw. Very exciting.
Oh, man, it was great.
It was great.
I had a big, big smile on my face.
Same.
Ear to ear.
But now that he's back, speculations run rampant. How is he going to get worked back into storylines? Is he going to jump right in and start wrestling right away?
The rumor is now he's gonna take Seth's spot at WrestleMania and win the Universal Championship.
It's not true.
My inside sources.
It's not true.
No, that's not true. I have no inside sources.
Stuff up. This is from Post Wrestling, though. They have sources apparently. Quote: I'm
Seem
told.
Like fine gentlemen.
Yeah, I'm told. Quote: I'm told that they are planning to do a Shield reunion match, and it's only a question of whether it will be a 3-on-3 match against Bobby Lashley, Drew McIntyre, and Baron Corbin. If it will be 4-on-4 with Braun Strowman and Elias added. It has been debated back and forth, and as of Monday night, they were unaware what option they would go with. This is from earlier in the week, mind you. I was not told when the match would take place, although Fastlane seemed to make the most sense given Seth Rollins already is on in a match for WrestleMania. Dave Meltzer, the Wrestling Observer himself, added in this week's newsletter. Quote,
I'll do this.
Sure.
One. It sure looks like something along the lines of the Shield and Braun Strowman versus Drew McIntyre, Bobby Lashley, Baron Corbin, and Elias. If Dean Ambrose leaves in April when his contract is up, this is the only shot for a full Shield reunion, and that was teased when the McIntyre then trio did the Shield Powerbomb on last week's show. The other question is if a Shield reunion will cause Ambrose to have a change of heart regarding leaving. We'll get to that
in a second. But first, right before about an hour ago or so, the Q Arena in Cleveland, Quicken Loans, advertised the following match be taking place at Fastlane a week from Sunday. That match is a handicap match. Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns taking on Baron Corbin, Drew McIntyre, and one Bob Lashley. Of course, in my mind, this automatically screams victory for Seth and Roman. Post-match beatdown, courtesy of the heels. Dean runs out to even the odds.
Something to consider also is that they're trying to save Seth Rollins for Mania, because that's a big match. He's been dealing with some stuff.
But he's been cleared, I think.
He was partially cleared for Raw for the limited stuff they did this past week. As far as Fastlane's concerned, you got one guy who's just coming back after a couple months off. Roman's probably eager to get back into the swing of things.
I would imagine,
And it's not like I doubt he's lost a step. But then you have Seth. And I would kind of think that they're not. Well, you got Braun also. He can take on a lot of the work.
Yeah. Yes.
So, I mean, I don't know how much Seth will probably want to do everything and how much they want to use
especially
Seth.
with Mania looming. But I think it would be wise for them if they're going to do any sort of Shield reunion. It would be fitting, and it would be a pretty emotional scene at Mania after Seth beats Brock. All three of them in the ring have their final reconciliation, whether Dean leaves or not. That would be a pretty awesome image.
Here's what you do. I got it. Here's what you do. Handicap match 3-on-4. Got all four heels. But then on the other side, you don't have the Shield. You have Roman, Seth, and Braun. And Dean, earlier in the show, had said, I don't really want any part of it. Match goes down. Faces win. However, as you said, the beatdown happens.
Beatdown, yes.
Dean comes out and makes the save.
Yeah.
And then he leaves before we get the real reunion.
Yeah, exactly. We don't get the reunion to Mania.
And then Mania, like you're saying, when Seth wins, everybody does the fist bump. And then if Dean leaves, great. If not, whatever. I do think that the idea of continuing on, I think that at this point, though, and it's not just because we've had injuries and Roman's leukemia thing, the Shield reunion, they need to leave it alone. They need to do I understand that the emotion is in these three guys, but they are worse off creatively when they are together now.
If Dean is determined to leave, I think having just one last at Mania doesn't do anybody any harm. Yeah, I think it's a good image to send home with the fans. It's a good goodbye for Dean. It's a wrap up essentially. It's coming full circle for Dean's career in the WWE for now, if he wants to leave. However, if he is going to stay, no.
Here's what you do instead. If you want a sour ending, okay, so everybody's saying, man, if Kofi wins, if Becky wins, if Seth wins, that's a lot of happiness. And we know Vince McMahon, he likes to balance things out.
Yeah.
How about this? So the very last thing is the horsewomen. Okay, that's the very last thing you leave with. Earlier in the night, you have the maybe 2 matches prior to that, you have the Universal title match. Okay, you end with the Shield doing their thing. If Dean is staying, maybe you give one last run with the Shield against the Undisputed Era. They come out, they lay out the Shield. Crowd's like boo, but also kind of yay. It's a huge buzzy moment.
Yeah,
and you got the Undisputed Era.
You were going to say Dean gets in there. Ready to do that. Everybody puts their hands in, and he just beats them up at Mania.
That'd be kind of crazy.
Yeah.
If he was able to do that.
Yeah.
No, man. Undisputed Era. Bring them out.
Well, that'd be great.
Yeah, it'd be awesome. I don't think it's going to happen.
Let's go back around to whether Dean is going to stay or not, because according to WrestlingNews.co, WB is hoping Roman can make that happen, saying, quote, WWE management is hoping Roman Reigns can help change Dean's mind. During a recent autograph signing, Reigns was asked to give his thoughts on Ambrose leaving this year. Reigns responded simply by saying, quote, we're going to work on that. The impression given was that Reigns would work on getting Ambrose to stay. Later on the story, it says, one wrestler told me today that last night Ambrose was the happiest he's been in a long time because Reigns was back in the locker room. He and Reigns
that is very
are
interesting.
tight.
I guess
they used to travel together.
Yeah.
Fightful Sean Ross Sapp also reported that WB hoped that Roman could be the, quote, Dean whisperer.
Interesting.
In an effort to convince him to stay, and take this with a grain of salt, but according to Wrestling Inc., quote, WWE recently updated their event listings in May to add Roman Reigns to several shows. It should be noted that Dean Ambrose is also being advertised for Raw live events in May, including the annual post-WrestleMania 35 tour of Europe. This could just be an issue where they just didn't take his name off there. Again, grain of salt. These kind of things happen fairly frequently.
Yeah.
Where one team's not communicating with another team. But you know, it could be an indication that at the least WWE's like keeping their fingers crossed that maybe roaming around, Dean might want to stick around too.
You know, I mean, there's a lot that we've heard about Roman Reigns being the big dog, not just in the ring, but in the locker room.
He seems like a cool dude.
He seems like a guy that obviously people pay attention to, and he seems like an awesome guiding force in the locker room and an awesome example.
Yeah. Did you read that story that Kazim...
I forget his last name, but I know you're talking about.
Yeah, he shared a story where he had just kind of started. He'd had like 2 conversations with the guy. And I think, if I remember correctly, I'm probably going to get the story wrong. Roman wanted to...
Kazim Famuyide?
Okay.
I am so sorry. I am butchering the crap out of his name. But he was a writer with WWE for a year.
And he just left recently.
Yeah.
And I think it was a case where Roman wanted to change something, and Kazim was like, well, I don't know. And Roman's like,
well, he wrote this segment with Roman, and it punctuated on a vulgarity, on
that's
bad
what it was.
words.
Yes.
And he said, you know, I don't know if we should do this. You know, am I supposed to go talk to Vince? And Roman said, here, I got you. He went to talk to Vince, got the okay, and he said, man, thanks so much. I'm new here, you know.
And Roman more or less said, you know, hey, we're all members of the same team. We all have to look out for each other.
Exactly, yeah. He really made it like we're all in this together, and it was a very, very cool story.
Yeah.
Like he really does. And I sort of said this when he announced that he was battling leukemia. I sort of speculated, in pure speculation, a guy who has gone through what he's gone through has a sense of perspective and, life experience that not a lot of people would probably have dealing with your own mortality. And I feel like that probably brings a lot to the locker room. You know, you just get you got more maturity there.
If you got that perspective, that level of maturity, plus, you know, the outlook, the philosophy that you are a member of a larger team. That sounds like the makings for a locker room leader right there.
Yeah, I think so.
And someone people respect.
So it's not surprising at all that, I mean, you can even sort of see it with Dean since Roman left. And granted, I know a lot of it is his creative, in that they haven't really been able to stick this whole heel Dean thing. But I do wonder how much of that is him being checked out because of what's happening to his friend. A lot of people, I've heard several wrestlers when they're describing Dean, I think Dolph is one of them on, I think the Busted Open podcast, had said something like, you know, Dean doesn't always, he's kind of hard to read.
Yeah.
And
that to me, to himself,
that to me kind of seems like, you know, that guy's probably, he's probably one of those dudes who's got a lot going on. And he's probably one of those guys who's, you know, probably takes things to heart.
Yeah.
And not having your best friend there and knowing that your best friend is off battling cancer. And it just seems like it would be a lot to handle.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I could see that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm not sure how enthusiastic I'd be able to do this show if you came down with plague or something, you know?
Well, I think plague is relatively curable at this juncture.
If all of a sudden you came down with lobotomized brain.
Yeah, that's...
An affliction of phrenology, Larson.
Well, no, phrenology is more just like the skull, not the brain.
I thought phrenology, but it relates to the brain, though.
Kind of.
Wait a second. No, phrenology. I've seen the diagrams there, and it has like different aspects of the brain, I thought.
But I don't think lobotomies have anything to do with phrenology. I think it's just...
Oh, well, that I was just joking about.
Yeah, no, that's what I was
I'm serious about phrenology.
I'm sure it has something to do with the brain, but it's more just about the shape and the skull.
Look at this guy in his phrenology head.
Practicality.
Oh, no, that's you're right. That's like the face. That's the entire head.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that.
And what it tells you about the person.
Oh,
the
but
shape
then there's
of the skull.
this, and there's numbers here.
Oh, there's a key.
Yeah, there's a key. Let's see. Oh man, this is fat. Look at the phrenology. What is the framework of human character? Okay, anyways, let's talk about wrestling.
Yeah, it's all about how your head related to you as a person, the shape of your head.
Look at this guy, an unreliable father,
because he has an extra little lump at the bottom.
I don't have an extra
skull.
lump at the base of my skull.
See, I have the little thing that kind of sticks out the back of my head.
I'm a genuine father.
Yeah, I have a genuine father head too.
This is not me. I'm not a genuine husband.
Who does that guy on the right look like to you?
Oh. Walter. Is that who you're going for? It looks like Walter.
Yeah, it does a little bit.
Who are you going for?
I thought it looked a little bit like our president. especially the hair.
These are fascinating.
Oh, this is interesting. Anyways, let's carry on.
Oh, dear.
Anyways, before we continue, here's a word from our sponsor for today's show, Robinhood.
Yeah, Robinhood is an investing app that lets you buy and sell stocks, ETFs, options, and cryptos, all commission-free.
While other brokerages charge up to $10 for every trade, Robinhood doesn't charge any commission fees, so you can trade stocks and keep all your profits. Plus, there's no account minimum deposit needed to get started, so you can start investing at any level.
The simple, intuitive design of Robinhood makes investing easy for newcomers and experts alike. View easy-to-understand charts and market data and place a trade in just 4 taps on your smartphone. You can also view stock collections such as 100 most popular.
With Robinhood, you can learn how to invest in the market as you build your portfolio, discover new stocks, track your favorite companies, and get custom notifications for price movements so you never miss the right moment to invest.
Robinhood is giving listeners of Going in Raw a free stock like Apple, Ford, or Sprint to help you build your portfolio. Sign up at goinginraw.robinhood.com, and thank you to Robinhood for sponsoring Going in Raw. It really does help the show.
Yep.
If you go to goinginraw.robinhood.com, I got the Robinhood app.
Yeah, so do I.
Right here on my phone. I plunked down $20,
Ooh.
and I'm at $23.60. Nice. I am fascinated. I love. It's like a game, like that you research stuff.
Yeah.
And then you plunk some money down on
and
it.
you see if you can build upon that.
Yeah, man.
That's
absolutely.
investing.
Yeah. That is which.
Yeah, go back to that.
Which brain?
What is?
Has,
go back to the picture. With the picture up there. What did it say up there?
This
that
guy,
one.
an unreliable husband.
I just read that and saw the hairline. I thought
You could take the husband out and add any number
unreliable. Yeah.
Any number of roles. For example,
or you can just,
boss, manager, president, what have you.
Or you can just leave the adjective there, unreliable, and let that speak for itself.
Exactly.
This is really fascinating.
Look at this guy. Danger. It's all danger going on.
Are we going to start
here.
a phrenology podcast?
Oh, my God. Thursday phrenology overruns. That's great. Screw movies. I don't want to talk about movies. I want to talk about phrenology. Anyways,
let's talk about Tommaso Ciampa, Steve. He might be hurt.
Oh, this bums me out.
This could be a pretty hardcore bummer here.
No
First,
degree.
in the DIY's tag match against Thebar a couple weeks back on SmackDown, there was that sunset flip powerbomb spot where it looks like Sheamus didn't look like it. Sheamus landed on Ciampa's leg in an awkward fashion.
Yeah.
It looks like Ciampa's knee got all twisted up, so we thought maybe he got hurt. Haven't really seen him on main roster TV, save for that brief bit during Flair's birthday party where he's off in the wings, standing amongst the rest of the locker room. Wrestling Observer newsletter has had a brief note about possible injury to Tommaso, saying, quote, Ciampa is injured, although we don't know the severity of it. It's something he had been working through with the idea of taking care of it after the Gargano match at TakeOver, but that explains why he wasn't on television this week, nor is he listed for the upcoming weekend NXT dates. He's actually only worked 5 non-TV or major streaming shows so far this year. PW Insider has some additional details.
They say WWE NXT champion Tommaso Ciampa has a neck injury that has forced him out of action, resulting in a rewrite of this past Monday's episode of Raw. You'll recall it was actually on SmackDown. It was supposed to be Gargano versus Cesaro, and so they changed it to the Hardy Boys. No word on what originally they were supposed to do on Raw, though. PWI.
I think they say in this PWI Insider. I just went past it because.
They continue, we are told the neck issue has been a lingering thing for at least 4 to 5 weeks, possibly longer. Depending on if and when Ciampa is cleared to return, WWE will have to be creative regarding the NXT Championship and the 2019 Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, which Ciampa is competing in. We are told all options are on the table depending on what the final determination is regarding his injury. But as of Monday, he was not cleared to wrestle medically. That sucks.
Mm-hmm.
That blows, man. The neck is nothing to mess with either.
Nope.
Those dudes, they go at it during those takeover matches.
They do.
They really do.
They really do. I mean, you hear neck injury and you think like Edge having to retire because of it. Ciampa's only 33, I think.
Yeah. He looks 43.
I know.
So how many episodes are in the bag?
I think they're.
Are they all the way to the takeover?
That I don't know.
Boy, that kicked into high gear.
I feel like my computer's about to blast off.
Wow.
I don't know. I know they got down to the finals of the Dusty Classic. And I'm pretty sure they've set up Ciampa's match for TakeOver.
Yeah, okay.
I won't say anything else.
Yeah.
So, but if he's not going to be medically cleared for said match at TakeOver, I don't know
40 days
how
out.
they're going to approach that. That's a huge pickle to be in. When you have this huge story they've been telling for the better part of 2 years, and they have, on two different fronts, main roster call-up, neck injury. So I wonder if he was just recently deemed not cleared to wrestle. Because the last set of tapings, he wrestles.
Yeah. The last thing he did the tapings or SmackDown?
SmackDown, I think.
Wasn't like
because they had them called up on Raw, and then they showed up on SmackDown. I think the following Wednesday was the batch of tapings, and then it was the following week.
So yeah, not yesterday.
Yeah.
The day before. Okay.
The following week, he had the match against
The tapings were a week ago yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay, and he last wrestled a week ago Tuesday.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I think it's 2 weeks ago yesterday.
The tapings were just a week ago, weren't they?
Were they just a week ago? So then again,
I'm all over the place right now.
Yeah, I know, because they debuted on Raw against the Revival and won. Did they wrestle? Is that when they wrestled Thebar the following night on SmackDown then?
Yeah.
Okay, then it was that Wednesday. It was after the
because they were
Thebar
only
match.
on 1 week. They were only on one week.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, geez, I don't know. Does it say? Let's see here. When this was like found out?
No.
Like sometime between last Thursday and Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
So wow, about a week ago.
But apparently it's something he's been dealing with for several weeks at this point.
For a little while now. I wonder how involved their matches are during the TV tapings.
No idea.
How many they had.
I guess the match on Raw was supposed to be a 4-way tag match. It's from PW Insider as well. That would have been Ryder and Hawkins, Aleister Black and Ricochet, and another team. And then the Revival would be ringside. And so it was changed to Revival versus Aleister.
Instead, they had Aleister and
yeah.
Ricochet beat the Revival clean. That's kind of a big rewrite there, right there.
Yeah, I know.
It's kind of a big deal. So the final matchup, the final matchup for the Tag Team Classic is at the TV taping. And then they have the title shot at TakeOver. Is that?
I'm not sure if the finals are going to take place at TakeOver. That's why it made it sound like.
How did they do it before?
It's varied.
Oh, has it?
Yeah.
I don't think they've ever had the Dusty finals at a TakeOver.
Yeah, it was.
Did they?
It was Authors of Pain and TM61.
Was that the final of the
I
Classic?
thought so.
Or was
Yeah.
that the Tag Team title match?
I thought that was the finals of the Classic.
NXT Revival.
Last year it was the finals. Yeah, last year was the finals.
Okay. Last year was the finals?
Yeah, because I think the titles, because Undisputed Era were in the tournament, and the finals were Peter Dunne and Roderick Strong against Undisputed Era, and that's where Roderick Strong turned.
Oh, okay.
Remember, and Adam Cole had to substitute in for Bobby Fish.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I don't know. Like you got your go home to TakeOver.
Yeah.
You can't really announce anything because you got all that TV done until after that TV airs, which is the Wednesday prior to TakeOver, which is Saturday.
Assuming they got everything shot up until then. Which
I would assume so. I mean, there's only 40
well, if they did
days.
it a week ago,
It's only 40 days.
that would have been the 20th. And the first one aired this week. So no, I think they got to have at least one more.
Think so?
They got to have some more tapings, I would think.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I think they usually only shoot 4 episodes in a batch.
Well, they would just do a taping for one episode then?
They did that before Survivor Series.
When they did that weird taping out in San Jose or whatever. Yeah, but those are a bunch of like bollocks matches. But I guess they could do like a real thing. Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. But yeah, that'd be a bummer. They'd have to do like a he gets attacked backstage thing.
Who attacked Tommaso Ciampa type thing.
Yeah. I mean, I get that they have like really, really good storytellers there. They have really, really good creative over on NXT. But look at how they pivoted when Aleister Black went out, you know? And I forget how many tapings were done, what was set up. Wasn't that like right on the verge of a takeover?
Yeah.
When that happened?
Yeah.
And they just announced, okay, he's out.
And it's going to be Gargano Ciampa instead for the title.
Yeah. In this case, you're looking at the title holder, which is a bit different, obviously. Yeah. But, you know, they can still do something. And if they make this diagnosis that, yeah, I'll put it this way. It'd be smart for them. They're probably having some sort of contingency planned right now. And then whatever that contingency plan is, start prepping that match. Because bottom line is takeovers, yeah, they're known for their stories and everything, but they're known for their great matches. You know? And that's really what you want to focus on.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I'm sure no matter what, they'll come up with a creative solution to do it. But it is just a bummer with Ciampa. I mean, he's been on such a tear lately. On the other hand, I'll say this. It was only 2 days. It was Monday and Tuesday. It was Raw and SmackDown that we got to see how they handled his initial call-up. And Ciampa's great. He's awesome. But they have him in a face roll. And I'm wondering if an injury, that puts him out 3 to 6 months. Might not benefit him.
Oh, who knows?
Coming back in a way where the creative might have to do a reset. And, you know, they put him in a position that is not just this weird rushed call up. That might benefit him. He's sort of the one that I was, after seeing Mondays and Tuesdays, the first SmackDown and Raws, I was sort of concerned about, because it's like, man, they're just sticking him in this position that doesn't really fit what he's doing. I mean, I know it was a really small sample size, but still, they're just taking him out of the story that he's in, kind of, and then doing this weird parallel thing.
I know.
So maybe it's one of those things where, yeah, it sucks, it's horrible, but in the long run, kind of like Becky Lynch now is going to be main event in WrestleMania, obviously. Maybe it'll benefit him if he's gone.
Maybe.
You know, I care most about the dude's well-being and everything, but sometimes these things just end up working out for the best. So you never know.
Yeah, you never know.
Stone Cold is out with a neck injury for how many months?
Yeah.
He came back hotter than ever.
Yep.
So, yeah. Let's talk about Ronda Rousey, Larson. The controversial, Ronda Rousey. Might be done after Mania. This might be confirmed. So we've heard about this before. About a month ago, Meltzer reported in Wrestling Observer newsletter that, quote, there's a very good chance that Ronda Rousey will be finishing up with WWE WrestleMania, end quote, to reportedly start a family. And apart from a kind of denial from Ronda saying, you're not in control of my bits, I'm in control of my bits.
Yeah.
Why are people talking about my bits? There hasn't been much more news.
Yeah.
But several outlets are noting that Ronda doesn't have any scheduled appearances with WWE beyond April 8th, the Raw after Mania.
Yeah.
So, does this mean she'll be leaving?
No. It's not 100% confirmation of it.
I don't know if Dean is leaving or I'm playing devil's advocate right now.
Yeah.
Dean's on the schedule. He's on the European tour.
Yeah.
And he's literally said, they put out a statement saying he's leaving.
Yeah, I know.
So, why are we not to assume that Ronda Rousey is going to be hightailing it if she's not advertised on the European tour?
Maybe she does.
Scheduled dates after Mania.
She doesn't know. They don't want to advertise her unless she's locked in.
Yeah. Well,
It's the only thing I think of.
yeah, that could be. That could be.
Again, it could be a situation I imagine it happens. It seems like it happens quite a bit at WWE. One department doesn't talk to another. Probably as often as they should.
I wonder if the idea that Dean just wasn't happy, like, creatively is different than somebody going up to him and saying, I'm going to start a family right after WrestleMania. Literally, the night Raw after Mania,
I'm going to fly home.
I'm going to fly home smash, and hopefully, you know, when it goes in, and then human happens.
Yeah, child ensues. Yes.
Child ensues, exactly. That's a bit more definitive than Jonathan Good saying, I'm not really happy here.
I'm not going to resign a new contract.
I'm not going to resign. I'm not going to do that. But, you know, I always could. Never know. You never know. What? What was that last part? I don't know. You know?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see you later.
So I don't know, man. I kind of think confirmed. Unless she gets to WrestleMania and she sees that, you know, it's a rollicking good time. I don't know, man. The Twitter response that I've been seeing today to her post on Ronda Rousey, she might see that, the people coming after her about that one, and decide it's not worth it.
Entirely possible.
Oh, those Twitter people yelling at me over doing a feud on Twitter. How dare you? Anyways.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. I kind of feel like it'd be a bit of a breath of fresh air for her to leave for a bit.
Yeah.
I kind of just like when there's not one big focal point on a division.
Well, I don't mind.
Then the titles can like go.
I don't
places.
mind when there's a focal point. I don't like it when that focal point ain't dropping the belt.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I mean.
I like drama and I like unpredictability. And when you have someone like Brock or Ronda holding that top belt in their division, they ain't dropping it.
I hate when I hear, oh yeah, he's the champion. Also, he's not advertised until 8 months from now.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of that. And I know Ronda's been, she's everywhere. She's on all the episodes and everything.
Yeah, I think she works some house shows too.
But it's kind of obvious that she ain't dropping that title anytime soon.
Nope.
Well, in 40 days she will.
Yeah, something like that.
But yeah. Anyways.
Who knows? Anyways, we haven't seen Bray Wyatt in a while.
Hey man, where have I been? Where my Beefy Dub ain't here, man.
So we've heard things. He's coming back. He's not coming back. Will he be in the Rumble? He won't be in the Rumble. WrestleVotes has this to say, quote, noteworthy, I've heard both sides of story from two different sources regarding Bray Wyatt. One, he's poised to return prior to WrestleMania and have a featured match. Or two, they are saving his return for post-Mania Raw or SmackDown to make a larger impact. Must be Mania season. News gets more erratic.
Yeah, so he posted a tweet. Apparently somebody on Cage Side Seats, this is Mr. Sean Reuter, posted an article on Cage Side Seats saying, actually, Bray, somebody actually started their headline has an actually.
Actually, Bray.
Actually, Bray, we don't have any faith.
And then Bray responded to it.
Yeah, because it's keeping in line with this headline. Let's see here. I'll just every few weeks, Wyatt pops up on social media with something that sounds like a tease for a comeback. He's done it again with a response to a fan doubting he has another mostly missing superstar. Sanity's Killian Dain will be pushed due to their girth. Now, I don't put much stock in the original tweeter's theory about Vince McMahon's preferences, but I don't put any in Wyatt's vague statements that might be, but probably aren't alluding to his being reintroduced on Raw or SmackDown. I mean, why should we have faith at this point? And then Bray Wyatt tweet quoted him and said, Dear Sean Ryder, I don't care what you think, man. How's this for cryptic? I'll be back soon. And when everyone sees how great I am, you'll owe me a beer, man. Until then, stop writing reports on me every time I write something. I was like, Dear Stan.
I know.
Yeah, man.
That was the most to-the-point tweet he's put out in a long time.
Yeah, he basically just said, shut up.
Yeah. Says, I'll be back when I'm back. Shut up.
He's got 1.1 million followers. Hey, man, I got a lot of followers, man. He just made Sean Reuter famous. So, because that's like his pinned tweet, I think.
Yeah.
Or it's his only tweet. Literally his only tweet. There's no other tweets.
That's funny.
Yeah. So, yeah.
It must be a bummer because for him, he's probably ready.
Oh, yeah.
He's healthy.
It has nothing to do with him.
No, it's just they don't know how they're going to reintroduce him, and that's it. It's nothing to do with him.
And I mean, look, these are entertainers working in the world of media.
And part of his job is to generate interest in his brand.
Yes,
or maintain interest in his brand. So it behooves him to eventually go on Twitter and tweet something that might vaguely insinuate that he's on the verge of returning.
Yeah.
But he can't say, I'll be back in such and such city on this day,
I'm
man.
coming back here, man. Buy your tickets.
And then he doesn't show up. And then he doesn't show up. And he looks like an asshole.
And then he tweets out, "Ha ha ha, suckers! That's not fraud. It's false advertising."
Card subject to change.
Bray's subject to change, man.
That's not fraud. It's false advertising. My goodness.
No, see, that's not fraud. That's false advertising. That's great. Freaking Bray Wyatt. I hope they, you know what? Here's my thing, man. I don't care when he comes back. I just hope they have something good for him.
I know.
I really do.
I know.
Hey, what were those shoes you had up the other day, the ones that I really marked out over?
Oh, they're coming out soon.
Well, can you find those for me and
Yeah.
send me a link or something?
Here, they're on the sneakers app, man.
They're on the sneakers app?
Yeah, it's this one.
Okay, what are those? The Flight Nostalgia?
Yeah.
Those are sick.
When they coming out? I think they're coming out this weekend.
Oh, man.
2nd, Saturday.
Holy moly.
7 a.m.
I'm getting on that business.
All right, man.
Was it $220?
190.
190? Even better. Nice. I just saved myself $30.
You're going to get those?
Those are cool.
They're not bad.
Those are man. Those are not jabroni shoes.
I didn't say they were. I said they're not bad.
Anyways, you excited about Bray Wyatt coming back?
Heck yeah, man. There's money in that guy.
But only if
they do it right.
What about Bret Hart?
Of course.
Would you be happy for him to come back?
Flavor, 10 out of 10. As close to 10 as there is. Freshness.
Worst
attribute, 6 or 8 out of 10.
You want to answer some questions?
Absolutely.
We have a thriving Twitter
thread here, huh?
Yeah. First up, from some jabroni named John Carl. Who is your favorite WWE creative? Russo, Lagana, Koski, DeJoseph, Gerwitz, or Kapoor, and why? My favorite WWE creative was Carl.
Yeah, man. Yep. That's the correct answer.
I don't know. I kind of have a soft spot in my heart for a little bit of Russo. Here's the thing, dude. If it wasn't for Russo, how many awesome conversations we had about his hilarious WCW booking?
Yeah, I know.
And I'm sure he brought a lot to the table during the Attitude Era.
Oh, yeah. I've compared Russo's time in WWE EWF to Donnie Darko. That, Richard Kelly, the director of Donnie Darko, had all sorts of crazy, some great, some not so great ideas. Mm-hmm. But the original cut, someone else edited the film for him.
Yes.
And it was a really good, interesting movie.
Yeah.
You watch the director's cut where no one's overseeing what he's
doing. You watch
doing.
his pure vision.
And it's a mess.
Yeah.
And every movie basically he's made subsequently has been a mess.
And it bums me out that he hasn't. According to Jeff, he's mainly just doing producing stuff right now. I forget what he said the last thing he did was. I'm sure it's easy to find out.
Yeah.
But give me the era of Carl. Actually, Jimmy Jacobs.
Yeah.
From everything I heard, he did some cool stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Excellence of Flexecution. Opponents for Sasha and Bailey for TakeOver and Mania?
Mania would be Trish and Lita. TakeOver, give me Sky Pirates.
Could you imagine they pulled double duty like that? Well, they have a day in between, huh?
Yeah, they do this year.
But still recovering from a TakeOver match?
Mm-hmm.
Ouch.
Mm-hmm. JC Ramirez. Imagine this. You're watching NXT Prime 2 years from now, particularly the women's division. What 4 talents from their developmental or indies do you think you'll be watching in future takeovers? So, Prime NXT in 2 years' time.
In 2 years?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say Mia Yim's going to be running that. I think she's going to be running it. I kind of feel that way. I think she's strong, dude. I think she's really strong.
Her match against Shayna was awesome.
Yeah. I'm going to say her. I'm going to say Bianca Belair.
Bianca Belair is not going to be in NXT in 2 years.
You don't think so?
No.
You think Mia Yim's going to be there?
I don't know about that. Because I'm guessing Bianca's going to be on main.
Are we 2 years from now? Is Candice going to be wrestling?
Hopefully.
What about their developmental?
Yeah, I'm going down there in a second. I mean, 2 years, we're looking at, like...
We could also be looking at some UK people.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Casey Catanzaro. She's going to be
she's
huge.
Really good.
She's going to be big. Chelsea Green's going to be big 2 years from now.
Keegan Knox is going to be really
if
big.
She can stay healthy.
Rachel Ellering.
Oh, there you go.
Lacey
I think MJ
Lane's
Jenkins is going to be good. Lacey Lane's going to be good. They got a Xia Li.
Mm-hmm.
They've got a killer women's division waiting right there on that Florida house circuit.
Yeah, man.
That's a killer lineup. Right
it really is.
Yeah, man. Let's see here. The most forlorn dab. Imagine Ricochet and Aleister Black are on the WrestleMania card this year. Who would they be fighting? Give me Ricochet versus Finn in a friendly.
No, I'm making for the Intercontinental title.
Yeah, friendly for the Intercontinental title.
Friendly.
Aleister Black.
Nakamura.
Yeah. Boy, that'd be awesome.
John Ortolaza. What is the best way to utilize Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 35?
We've sort of gone over that a little bit.
We go over it Matt Chat.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, stay tuned for Matt Chat. But in one word, Baron.
Greg Morris, what would you rather see? Kofi win the title at Mania and have a long reign, or Becky tap out Ronda only to lose the following pay-per-view?
Have a long reign or Becky tap out Ronda.
Do you want the moment of Becky beating Ronda and not have it lead to anything substantial? Or
Kofi win the title at Mania, have a long reign. Well, if we get Kofi winning the title at Mania and having a long reign, does that mean we also get Becky tapping out Ronda only to not lose at the following pay-per-view?
Sure. And that's what I want.
I think Greg Morris might have messed up the whole would you rather.
Yeah, I think it's either or. You only have one.
Well, yeah, but here's the thing.
No, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that's the only scenario by which Becky wins. I think that was his point.
Oh, so otherwise she loses. Maybe.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Daryl W. Perry, will you do a AEW recap show once they start producing regular content? You got that right.
Yeah. No, we're gonna have to.
Going in Tuesday night Dynamite.
Yeah, because I think SmackDown's probably gonna be changing to Fridays, and I think that's why they're doing All Elite on Tuesdays. Shit. Yeah. Hopefully it's a smooth transition. Hopefully hopefully 1 week we'll do SmackDown on Wednesday, then the next week we'll have All Elite on Wednesday to recap. And then, god dang, we got to figure out that flipping. I guess we're going to be staying late on Friday.
Guess so.
We got to get an employee here, man. We got to get somebody else to help us out with that. Just some lonely schmo doing Friday SmackDown recaps.
The Captain. What gimmick match do you wish WWE would bring back for me? Or for the Captain. It's 3 Stages of Hell.
The who? Where? Who's this one? What?
The Captain.
The Captain? Hey, Captain.
Gimmick match do you want back? Give me an Inferno match.
What gimmick match do you want back for me? It would be 3 Stages of Hell. What did you say?
Inferno.
You don't want the Beat the Clock challenge?
That's not. They do that every now and again.
Not enough.
Yeah.
Tournament. I don't care. Like a King of the Ring. I know it's not a gimmick match, but
yeah. Sam D. Most overrated WWE match of all time.
Oh, man. I don't know. Is it totally messed up to say the Iron Man, Bret Hart versus Shawn Michaels match?
No.
Is that messed up to say? Most underrated might be the Montreal Screwjob match. It's actually pretty fun.
Yeah, actually a pretty fun match.
And then it had a killer ending.
Here, I'll see what WWE rates as their greatest match of all time. I think it's one of the HBK Undertaker matches. I think it's the first one, if I remember correctly.
Quentin. This is a good philosophical question.
All right, I like philosophy.
Do you think that over-speculating can ruin a storyline?
Oh, this is my answer. Stone Cold versus Bret Hart, WrestleMania 13.
Oh, was it a crap match?
It's not a crap match. It's not a bad match.
Killer finish.
It's the finish that makes the match.
What finish do you
Otherwise,
prefer,
just
that
brawl.
or the Montreal Screwjob?
Montreal Screwjob.
Yeah, me too.
Anyway, sorry, what was the question?
So rare you see something real play out.
I know.
When you see the wall just break down.
Oh, I know. It's something else.
The curtain just opens up and it's disgusting.
It's something else, man.
Just opens up the curtain and it's a pile of trash.
What was the question again? Sorry.
Do you think over-speculating can ruin a storyline? No, because over-speculating is just interest.
Yeah.
That's just people being interested.
Over-speculation from whom? Like people like us?
I guess.
Oh. I don't know.
When people like start fantasy booking too much?
I mean, I understand that.
Because then usually there's a letdown, but some people just get carried away, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so.
Let's see here. John Ortolaza, again, I think he already did this. Is it a good idea to have 5 takeovers each for NXT and NXT UK, or to have 5 slightly longer takeovers per year?
I mean, I guess at the Blackpool takeovers any indication, I think NXT's fine having NXT UK is fine having their own takeovers. That was a good show.
It was an awesome show.
Mm-hmm.
I know. I would say, yeah. I don't know when the next NXT UK takeover is going to be.
Yeah, I don't know either.
But I don't know. I would think like 1 every 4 months, like 3 a year for NXT UK. I think that'd probably be solid.
Yeah, 3 to 4 a year. Quarterly.
Yeah, it could be quarterly. Great question from Tim Morris, who has an adorable child and Tim Morris in his avatar. Who would you have perform your WrestleMania entrance, and what song would they play? So you get to have a live act. But they say, look, you can have whatever song you want, whatever band you want, but they have to be alive and still active so they can be there live.
Yeah.
Or I guess you can have a current band do a cover version of like a classic, like a Doobie Brothers song.
Not going to happen.
No?
No.
No. Gene Pitney's dead. Otherwise, I'd have him and Mark Allman sing something.
Is Mark Allman still alive?
Yeah, he does, and he still sings that song in concert. His voice is kind of going, though. I shouldn't say that. I don't think he watches the show, though.
Oh, okay. You never know.
Maybe he does. Maybe he's a big fan of it. No, because I tagged him in a tweet, and he didn't like it or respond or anything. So
no.
I don't think he's a fan.
All right.
So getting back to the question. The MC5 still alive?
No.
Some
members might be, but I know Fred Sonic Smith is not.
I would get... Who's the last... I would get... What's the band that Nita Strauss...
Oh, she was Alice Cooper's guitar player?
Okay. Didn't she... Was it just her playing at that last one?
Yeah. She just released it in her own album.
Okay. But she has like a whole band and stuff, right?
Well, that backs her up, yeah. But the band's name is her name.
Is there a vocalist?
I don't believe so. I think it's just all guitar shredding.
Whoever does Aleister Black's theme song.
Okay. CFOs with
whoever the guy is.
Yeah.
Whatever he's from, and then his band.
All right.
I'd get them to do a cover of Kick Out the Jams.
All right.
That's what I want.
That's good.
Because I could see that vocalist doing the Kick Out the Jams.
Yeah, that's good. You think. You could reconstitute Black Flag to do...
That's true.
Rise Above.
Can I get Caius?
Sure.
To do, but not Queens of Stone. I want Caius, but to do a Queens of Stone Age song.
All right.
Feel a good hit of the summer.
Okay.
For WrestleMania.
That's good.
Nicotine, Valium, Vicodin, marijuana, ecstasy, alcohol.
Because it's feel good hit of the summer.
Slam.
What'd I say?
Feel good. No, I'm adding. Yeah. Feel good hit of the summer slam.
I'm trying to think.
Oh,
I'd probably just have like Run the Jewels do Legend Has It or something like that.
That's good. This is good.
What?
Conspiracy. Shaggy Kint says, have you guys noticed that each time Lacey Evans has appeared, she's actually gotten closer and closer to the ring?
I have not noticed.
Started out coming just at the top of the stage, but has slowly made her way down the ramp each consecutive time. She even started taking off her gloves this week.
Slowly but surely getting ready for a fight, huh? I know she did take her gloves off.
Or slowly but surely preparing for a live sex show in the ring.
I guess.
She took off her gloves. Next. Brazier. I don't know. Yeah, that could be.
Next question.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. She's like stuck in some sort of temporal causality loop.
She's not a time traveler, man.
She is, man. I'm telling you.
Not.
Brandoon. What's the likelihood that Ronda gets legitimately mad when she goes into Twitter arguments with Becky?
Now, that's a good question.
I would say likely.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
think she's well aware that this whole thing's a work.
Well, yeah.
But
I guess it depends on this. Here's the optimist in me talking. Her and Becky want to put on a killer match at Mania.
Yeah.
I guess it all depends on the level of communication between the participants.
Yes.
For example, when Mia Yim, Shayna Baszler, and Jessamine Duke are going at it on Twitter, I'm pretty sure they're all sitting next to each other in the apartment. I'm pretty sure they share.
Showing each other the phone before they press send.
And laughing.
Yeah. Now, I think if in advance, if there's a conversation between someone in social media, WB, Becky, Ronda, here's a general philosophy. What lines do you not want crossed? Imagine Becky's like, I don't care.
Ronda, so here's the thing. According to reports, Ronda literally told Becky to hit her as hard as she could with a crutch at the last pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
I really doubt somebody's going to say, hey, hit me as hard as you can with a crutch, and then get mad over some words she wrote on Twitter to further their feud to make them more money.
Yeah.
What, like that to me, when you reason it out, it doesn't make any sense.
Mm-mm.
So no, I don't think she does.
Mike Adams, any plans for an official Going In Raw StarCast 2 shirt?
Maybe. If I'll put it this way. If I can crack a good design, because this next one we got coming up, just our regular logo shirt, is probably going to be released
soonish,
middle of March.
Yeah.
April, May. So at the end of May, it's 2.5 months. if I can crack a really good design that is in keeping with it, but then we can also in perpetuity sell.
Yeah.
Like I think that the Going in Raw Chicago design was a pretty good one that transcends just Chicago. I think it, color scheme wise, it was all logo.
It's not too Chicago specific. All the Chicago references are pretty.
Yeah, they're pretty odd. Yeah.
Toxic.
So if I can crack a good design, yes.
Where's that Sharpie? Hand me that Sharpie, please. Thank you. Toxic Trent wants us to do Honky Tonk Man math.
Toxic Trent. That guy had a Hates champion match before.
Mm-hmm.
He almost took our precious Hates champion.
Mm-hmm.
Ship. He didn't take our champion.
In ring, I don't think he was that good of a wrestler.
Who are we doing now?
Honky Tonk Man. I'll put him as like a 5 wrestler. I don't think he was that good.
Okay.
He's a decent promo though.
The next one's going to be interesting. Yeah, he's a good promo. He's a 7 promo.
7 promo. Look.
Well,
he looked the part.
He looked like Elvis.
Yeah, he looked the part.
So he did what he was supposed to do.
Yeah.
But I think when Bret Hart, who invented the 3-tier system for being good, when he came up with it, is when he walks to the room, do you see pro wrestler?
Let me ask you this. Is this 3-tier system the greatest contribution Bret Hart has given to pro wrestling?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Correct.
Okay, we're agreement.
There's another question. There's another question I have.
What?
How do we monetize this? Like put it on a shirt?
I don't know.
Interesting.
There's got to be a way. There's a way to monetize anything.
I'll have to crack it.
Look, 5 or 6. I'm going to give him as high as a 6 because you might not have thought pro wrestler. You probably thought Elvis impersonator. But in the world of pro wrestling, it was distinctive, and you knew exactly what he was going for when he walked in the door.
Okay, fine. 6? Okay.
5. We'll do 5.
6 is fine.
All right.
Because you're right.
He should probably be a 4 in ring. He was not that good of a wrestler.
I don't remember any of his matches.
Legacy. Like 4 or 5. He is the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion. Still is.
So that gets him to 4.
But that's pretty much it.
That's pretty much it.
So 4. Kayfabe.
Again, he's the longest running Intercontinental
But
Champion.
that's pretty much it.
But then didn't he job out to Warrior in like moments?
Yeah.
And I don't know what his title defenses were like.
He usually cheated to win, I think. 4 or 5?
4.
4. So that's 17, 5 plus 13 divided by 3 is a 4 plus wrestler. Seems about right.
That feels right.
Seems about right.
The math doesn't lie. Not even sure why I even say seems right anymore because it is right.
It is right.
It is correct.
It is correct.
Gordon, kayfabe reason kendo sticks are under the ring in WWE.
Maybe they'll use them to warm up before matches. I know there's some stretches you can do where you need like a pole or something.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. That's
Rotate
good. That works.
Your
How about
core.
this? In kayfabe, Vince got a really, really good deal on him back in 1995.
Oh.
But
in bulk.
It was bulk.
Yeah.
Just a mass amount of them.
And so to justify, so he can write him off on his taxes.
Yeah.
He has to say, well, I use them for the shows, so he has to have them under there. So if someone from the IRS comes to the audience, like, look, I have all these kendo sticks.
See, they're
in
right
the ring
there.
Right there. That's why.
Yeah.
Makes all the sense in the world.
Let's see here. Ryan K. Lambert. What's the likelihood Dean leaving was a work? According to our sources, Wrestling Observer, it's real, and there's a possibility Roman Reigns is going to
help him change his mind.
Stick around.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for watching, everybody.
Yes, thank you very much.
We appreciate it. We have an overrun today, a bonus episode rather, and it's Ask Stephen Larson Day.
Yeah.
So at the $5 Patreon mark at patreon.com/Stephen Larson, you can check out the bonus episode. Here's a little commercial for our Patreon. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time, we'll talk to you guys later.
Goodbye.
Be a part of Going In Raw today at patreon.com/Stephen Larson. Starting at $1 a month, you can enjoy Going In Raw ad-free, gain access to the daily 30-minute Going In Raw post show, exclusive merchandise, and so much more. Support Going In Raw today. Click the link in the description.